Hello, everybody. I am your girl, the princess of all.
And I'm Kujo Speaks.
And we are here with the one, the only phenomenal Rachael.
Hello.
What a day this is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so can I first start out by saying I don't even know how many times a day I break out and say, dang, shorty.
That makes me so happy. That's like the best thing. Everyone tells me that all the time, and I'm just like, damn, I love this so much.
It's ridiculous.
That's just like my dang. That's my daily go-to thing. But for people who do not know, Rachael is a TikTok sensation, and again, we've been following you for quite some time now. But for those who may or may not know, who may not come across your TikTok or your Instagram just yet, how did you get started, and how long have you actually been doing videos?
So I got started. Okay, so I always tell this story when people ask me this because there's a memory that comes up in my Facebook memories every year. And it was like right before we were out here in a pandemic. And I was like, if I ever get a TikTok, someone needs to punch me directly in my face. You know, like I was very against it. And like I was just like, this is so stupid. And then quarantine happened and your girl was bored. Okay. And my oldest son was doing all the dances. And I was like, I guess I'll download it or whatever. And I downloaded TikTok, and I was a new mom at the time. And I just started getting the dancing didn't work out with me. Okay. Because I don't know how to dance. Listen, okay. I can't help the caucasity and lacvacity and the non-rhythm in my life. Okay. So that happened. But anyway, so I started just like ranting and like talking on there. And then people liked it. And I was just like, are you sure?
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was a new mom at the time. So it kind of went from like mom content, like comedic mom content, to like evolving into like some humorous baby daddy content. And then like evolving to what it is now, where I've just been like, I feel like I'm at a place where I can be like fully open and honest with my audience. And my platforms have just continued. I'm like, okay, let me try a little bit more of this, right? Add a little bit more of myself, and people like me. And I'm like, what? Okay, I guess.
I think that's the beauty of it though. Like hearing that origin, it makes complete sense. If you guys have seen her videos, you can see the disdain in it for you. Like, you don't want to be doing this necessarily, but you're doing it, and you're being real as hell all the time. And just, it's the hilarity in your videos is the realness in life that you allow people to see. And how you point out to everybody, like, yeah, I know I'm fine, but this is how I look most of the time. So holler at your girl. That's what's up.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I try. I try to keep the authentic approach, because I feel like there's just so much fakeness on, even when I do post, because I do have my moments, right? Like social media, we all get on there and we get all dressed up and we take 5,000 pictures and we get like the one where we're not looking crazy and post it up there. And it's just not, so every time I try to do that, I try to like balance it out with like the realness, because I think that's important.
And you definitely do that in the captions as well. And that's what I was scrolling through. Of course, I'm going through your whole timeline today. I'm like, let me just try to figure out some answers to some questions before I ask them, not to be all regular. And I was actually reading all of the quotes underneath your pictures. And most people would just be looking like, dang, she fine. Keep going. But the quotes under your pictures, most of them that you would think are thirst trappy, are hilarious as hell.
Yeah. It's all about balance.
Yourself.
It's
great. Now, as a woman, as a human, how hard or how long did it take you to really like muster up the courage? Because even for myself, being someone who's in the media and entertainment, quote unquote, some things we are kind of unsure if we should post or not. So how do you get like the courage to just like, you know what, skip it, I'm just gonna post it, I don't care how I look, no filter? Because that can be hard sometimes.
You know what, through God all things are possible, or whatever. And sometimes I just I really don't know. I think I just, like I said, like I just started like testing the limits and putting more of my like weird authentic self out there. And then every time I did so, like I saw so many people related. So I was like, all right, let me like be a little dangerous and do a little more, you know, because I'm weird. I will be really weird. Like I'm an odd person sometimes. But a lot of people are, and a lot of people tone that down because they don't see it in the media, because they don't see it out there. So I feel like I have had the amount of support and love that I've had from being my authentic self and being my weird self, and the people that are like, I've never had an original experience in my life. Like I'll talk about stuff that people don't really talk about, and people are like, me too. And it opens up that door to like, most of this is normal. If we were all just our weird selves all the time and like didn't care about what people thought, then none of us, it would just be such a better place, you know? So I just really, I try to do that. I don't know where I got, listen, I pray a lot. Yep. And I just try to go with what my heart is telling me, and I just try to stay positive and stay out of all the negative stuff, and it's worked out well so far.
It definitely has. I'm glad the algorithm brought you our way. Like I was telling you, I have 8 kids, right? So my wife and I and our kids, our older kids, all have a group text, and we send you through the group text constantly.
I love that so much. I'm honored. That's so crazy.
Our station, we're all super weirdos, and like our show, that's how we are. We talk about everything from, you know what I mean, political stuff to what you should do with your, you know, taxes and all, just everything and anything that people don't talk about. So you being able to be someone on social media that is hilariously showing the normal side of life and normalizing normalcy is something that we definitely needed. So definitely thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
To get kind of serious for a moment. I think the very first video that I came across of yours, you were doing your makeup with the doo-doo bronzer on fingers.
That doo-doo brown.
That's my favorite, the DG brush, because I saw that girl that, you know, shops at Family Dollar and all those things and gets those makeup utensils. And I saw you talk about your recovery, and for us, that's like a huge thing on our network. My mom is a social worker, therapist, substance abuse therapy. So I've worked with her, and I've seen people change their lives, and I've heard their stories. And my co-host here, who is recover, and he's been 2 years.
Today is actually my 2 years. That's why this was having you on today of all days. Yesterday was my birthday, and today I'm 2 years sober. So today was a very special day to have you on. And after hearing your story, like we were fans of yours before even hearing your story, and then we heard your story, and you became a staple in our family because of that as well, because you were somebody that I definitely identify with. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to us.
Congratulations to you, and happy birthday. That's huge. Are we, excuse me. That is amazing. I'm so proud of you. It's a beautiful thing. Yes.
So hearing your story, it really struck a place in my heart, because I love when people can tell their stories and they are not defined by their story. And you being able to share that and be vulnerable with the world and let people know, hey, you can change. And it's not easy, but it can happen. It definitely made us, like I said, love you even more. And that's when I really was like, okay, what's the rest of her Instagram?
Right.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
How has that journey been for you, for people that are out there who may be struggling or maybe tiptoeing with those kinds of things? What other advice would you give?
Well, I would say, I mean, that's the main reason why I speak so openly about it, because for a long time I didn't, and I was shameful. And like, even my family, like, you know, my immediate family, my extended family, didn't know. I never talked about it. They kind of knew something was going on, but I never got into detail. And it's because of like the stigma that's around addiction and the shame that surrounds it. And that's why I try to speak so open and honestly about it. And I try to add a little bit of comedy, so it's not as like, you know, because addiction can be a tough thing for people to listen to, hear about, whatever, because, you know, it's a crazy lifestyle when you're living like that. And I think that if people are just willing to listen to other people and how their stories and stuff like that, like if I can put all of my embarrassing, shameful things out there and someone else can relate and they could be like, wow, you know, look, she's doing well now. And she did it, and like maybe I can do this too, then that's that's amazing. I also do recovery meetings on Zoom 2 times a week. Like, they're free of charge. People, all the links are on my pages, and it's just a place where people can come and get some support if they're even thinking about getting sober, if they're struggling, if they're in recovery already. And that's been the most the biggest thing that I'm passionate about with my platform, is really using it to try to help people that are still struggling, you know, with addiction and things like that.
That's incredible.
That's
I will
awesome.
definitely be joining that, because I know there's a lot of people that I like to speak to that always think that AA is the only way, and if you don't go to AA, then you're never going to do it, and da 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 da. So there's not a lot of people that, like, so I'm a 100% disabled veteran as well, so I deal with you know, vets with PTSD and depression, and a lot of us have substance abuse issues, and the stigma behind the way you're supposed to go through recovery, if you don't do it that way, you're wrong, kind of thing, is something that I definitely am strong about breaking. So I'm really glad to hear that you have that going on, and I definitely am going to tap into that.
Yeah. And also, all recovery, I want to make that clear. It's not a 12-step meeting. I do work a 12-step program myself, but I've also, you know, opened up some of the 12-step stuff and how closed-minded they can be to certain things like that, right? I don't necessarily agree with. And I don't think that there is enough places where all routes of recovery are welcome without feeling judged or something. So this is another couple recovery content creators, and I started this meeting, and anybody is welcome, and you're never going to be judged, whether you're on maintenance, whether you're, you know, even like harm reduction. We're not going to judge you now, and that's what I feel is the most important thing.
Definitely.
I love that. I definitely love that. And maybe that's something we can bring to the network, because you know, here at the network, like, we're very open to just, you know, we have fun, we have entertainment, but we also still like to have a solution base to a lot of different things. So those kinds of conversations and those kind of safe havens, to me, should be, you know, spoke about and highlighted, because there are so many people that are struggling knowingly and unknowingly. Like how you talked about, like, you know, you thought you were keeping it together. Like, as a mom, there are so many moms who think that, like, oh yeah, on the outside I'm looking good, and everyone around them is like, no, no, you're
No,
not.
sweetheart.
Exactly.
You're not fooling us. So to be able to have that safe haven place where people can come and, like you said, not feel judged, that's a huge point for me. So we'll definitely post all of those links on our website so people can tap into them, check them out, follow them, just in case they need a little extra support as well.
So question for you. I got through the archives, and I went and found me something that I definitely wanted to ask you. As a musician and as a writer myself, I've seen that you dabbled in the sangery for a while.
I saw that video.
I did. I did. Yeah.
I on the couch with somebody playing the guitar, and it looked like you were reading off your phone. Do you write and sing your own, or have you stopped now that you're the mayor of Queen Juicy Dumperville, or do you still have?
Now that I'm Mayor Shardy out here in Houston.
Mayor Shardy, I don't know if you have time.
So I'm a solo mom. I take care of both of my kids myself, and my youngest is 2.5. So since he was born, I haven't really really everything kind of took a back seat, all of my hobbies and everything.
We understand.
Yeah. You guys get it. You know how it is or whatever. But so singing was always a passion of mine. I wanted to be a famous singer when I was, like, you know, younger and stuff. I did some writing back in the day and all of that. And hopefully in the future I can get back into music and stuff. Right now I have not been in practice or anything, but it's definitely one of my passions. Writing is not.
I'm gonna talk to you about that now.
In a while, but I used to. So hopefully I can tap back into that part of my brain one day and, like, get it going. I only have, like, 2 brain cells left, I feel like, after a while. Hopefully
those are the only 2 you need to make some right. Just use those 2 and they'll get you somewhere.
You've been holding the tune, so they're still working.
Right.
Now, what else are you working on, or that you have coming up, that you want your followers, listeners to know or be able to contact you about?
So really we're just trying to grow this, you know, recovery community that we have started. That is number one. Right. And, like, it has the potential. We've been really successful with the meetings that we've been having. And I think, like I said, it's such an awesome, it's free of charge. And I think that is like a big ding, 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 like it's free. I think a lot of people, especially with thinking of like, you know, how expensive like detox treatment and things like that are. I think a lot of people don't know about all of the resources that are out there for free for them, especially with the internet and everything now. There's so much stuff online and so much connection and support that you can have. So that's number one. It has the potential to hopefully, like we're thinking about if it gets big enough, doing conventions and stuff like that. Hopefully. So I mean, that's down the line. That's number one. I definitely have some merch that's going to be coming out. You know, I'm slowly working on that, on the dang Shardy and the Thick Queen. And I have to like write down, because I get so many people asking me, even like the makeup things that I do. People are like, make a deep depression palette. Like, please do it, Duda Brown. I want to put that on my face. Duda Brown, please. So I'm also, you know, trying to figure it all out, because I'm so new to all of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild to me that people know who I am. It's wild that like I'll be in Walmart looking at a whole ass mess and people are like, are you from TikTok? And I'm like, oh, you know, it's crazy to me. Yeah, it's been a wild experience. So I'm still trying to navigate what I'm even doing. You know? I'm just taking it a day at a time or whatever.
Definitely for the summer, you have to drop some Shardy shorts.
Yes, I was hoping to get it done by Christmas, but you know what? Time is not even like a real thing, because I swear to God,
I will proudly look. I will proudly model. I'm a 6 foot, 235 pound man. And I will proudly model some Shardy shorts.
I got you. I'm gonna have all.
I got your back.
We have that on recording, because when they drop,
your back. Look,
I don't want to hear no back talk.
Oh, look, okay? I'm rocking Shardys.
Dad Shardy shorts.
Proud Dad Shardy right here.
Yeah, Shardy.
Now, I do want to ask, because I've been asking a lot of content creators that we have on the show, what would you say the biggest misconception is of being a content creator? A lot of people think that it's so easy and it's this and it's so timeless, but what would you say one of the biggest misconceptions is as well?
So I am so blessed, because I love what I do. I love it. I love that I literally am, you know, making a living off of being creative and making people laugh and bringing joy to people from the comfort of my home. Like, I don't even have to get dressed. My following loves me a mess. Okay. Which is also not the best thing for me all the time, because I'll sit in. But anyways, I think that a lot of people don't realize how tedious and like time consuming it can be. One of the downsides to content creating that I have realized is it's really hard to shut my brain off. Like really hard to shut my brain off, because it's constantly like, we can make, you know, this and I'm working on trying to figure that part out. But I mean, for the most part, and like, you know, hate, I don't get a ton of hate, which a lot of people do. And I really thank God for recovery and the growth that I have done in my mind, because listen, not too long ago, I was really ratchet out here in these streets, and
Oh, we know. Oh, we've seen the videos.
We all were at one point.
Yeah.
Ain't no shame in that. Okay.
Yeah. So
now, the little hair days.
Right. I don't take things personally now. I realize that like people that come across like that are dealing with stuff themselves. And I really just always, I'm not perfect, right? But like I always try to come across in love. And that's really, I feel like that's the best way to, I haven't gotten into any crazy, you know, I don't know. I haven't gotten into any crazy stuff like arguing with people and whatever. But for the most part, I cannot complain, because I feel so blessed to be able to do what I am doing. You know, I just encourage everyone out there on the internet, if they're one of those Facebook or, you know, type right, what do they call it? Computer warriors or whatever, you know, get on there. Like, just
keyboard gangsters.
Yeah. I just encourage everyone to be kind, you know, because even content creators and the amount, like I said, I'm very blessed. I don't get a ton of hate. I get a certain amount, but I've seen other creators that just are like slammed on a daily basis. And I don't know how, if I had that kind of stuff going on, I don't know how easy.
Well, I think too, it's the authenticity that you bring forward. So a lot of, you know, I'm not saying anybody deserves that kind of hate at all by any means, but you can tell sometimes when people are manufacturing who they are for, you know, their content. And I think you being as authentic as you are and leading with love, like you said, I think that does help. So,
and a lot of it, I feel that, like you said, the authenticity, and you can tell that some of yours is not scripted. Like you
right.
can like tell on some people's videos, like, oh, they probably wrote that beforehand. But like I love like even when you're like talking and like you don't edit out like your word vomit. I say word vomit because I have that all the time where my mouth
She
like
makes a word.
That's exactly what it is.
You have
I mean, I get on there and really, I'll have an idea in my head, and that's people ask me all the time. They're like, "Do you write this stuff down?" And I do. Like I said, I can't turn my brain off, so like I'll get a little idea or just like a little spark of something, and I'll like write an idea down. Just like in my phone, just so it doesn't go anywhere. But then when I actually go to make the video, I don't know. I have no idea what I'm gonna say until I say it.
Like, you two are a lot alike. You two are a lot alike. So this woman, she has so many ideas, right? If she's got a receipt next to her or like something, she writes stuff on the back of whatever she can find. And then here at the show, we actually have a Good Time Show dictionary because she makes up about 50 to 60 words a day and swears they're real. So now we have our own, and we add your words in there as well.
I love that.
Because there was one day I was on air and I was trying to say like trenches and like crenches, and I just said like trenches, and like it just became a thing, and now I just always say trenches, and it was like it's just always a thing.
I'm my own words every day of my life, and I feel like that's the best way to live.
See,
who says? Because it's not a word. I hate the word. It's a word.
No one second guesses it when you say it with confidence. You just say it and it just rolls off the tongue, and people are like, "Oh, okay."
I'm the co-host. I'm supposed to. So both of y'all, I'm calling y'all both out. You are now added to this whole thing, and I will be calling you out daily.
Now, I do have one question with the positive affirmations. Could we possibly get a live affirmation of the day?
Oh man,
so our booties be feeling flat. We need this.
Hold on, let me. First of all, we gotta start with the dang, shorty, out here looking like a. Hold on. See, I'm usually not put on the spot for it, but just give me a second. Out here looking like a Krispy Kreme donut. You just got to get in the moment, and then you got to feel it, and you like whatever comes. Like the holiday season really makes me think of like holiday. There's been a lot of holiday hams and yams and stuff like that, and that's just where it comes from. Like that's exactly like I'll just sit like that, and I'll just be like, "Dang, shorty," and then it just kind of the magic happens, and it just happens how it happens, and it's awkward as hell, but people enjoy it.
My all-time favorite one is you said you're looking like chunky, spoiled, expired milk.
And I was out here looking like chunky milk. Yeah, God. And that's what I don't know. Like somewhere in my brain, there's just a compartment of like random things. And I also like whenever I hear something like in real life, I don't know, something like I'll just be on TikTok, I'll be out in the world, and I'm like, damn, I could like this morning, this is so random. But I was like, the word spigot had come into my mind for some, and I was just immediately my brain goes, dang, shorty, you are looking like a whole spigot, like like the water faucet, which makes no sense at all. But sometimes that's just how the magic happens of like coming up with things that literally, I feel like the things that make no sense is what people like the most.
Hearing the whole rusty spigot sound when you say that.
Spigot.
Booty sounding like a rusty spigot.
It reminds me of my spick'em spat.
Right.
I made up the word spick'em spat, because that's what I thought that it was. It was sprick'em, sprick and spat.
Spits and spats.
And I thought it was spick and spat.
Strange.
That's better to me. I like that.
That's just what happens.
I was waiting for you to say
use it on the next one.
I was waiting for you to say Amityville horror around Halloween.
That's
so
fire.
Next year, around Amityville horror.
I'm gonna have to. That's
I got you.
That's
I'm about to hire y'all on for content.
If people have not followed you yet or anything, give out your social media, your websites, everything, so people can find you, stay up to date with you, and contact you as well.
So I think all of my social media is Rachael Elizabeth X0. That's my little, what do they call it? Tag, or what are they? You know what I mean? X0, which I had since back in that was an old thing, but Rachael Elizabeth was taken. And you know how back in the day we used to have like with the AIM screen names and everything like that, like X0 and like the capital whatever. I don't know, whatever, it happened. So yeah, Rachael Elizabeth X0 across social media platforms. On YouTube, I'm out here on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on all the things. Can't get rid
of
Facebook, AIM.
Facebook, yep.
Still got a Hotmail.
Just Google her. Just Google her. Well, listen, guys, we definitely enjoyed having you on, and you definitely cannot be a stranger. You got to come back.
I would love to. I would listen. I could hang out with you guys all day. Okay.
You have to keep it. Like it's over now. Like we are definitely fam. You will definitely be 100% on all of our everythings.
Exactly.
Very excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
Well, listen, guys, don't touch your dial. We will be right back on the Good Time Show. Okay, real quick, can we get a radio drop? You can just say like, "Hey, it's Rachael Elizabeth," and you're tuned into the Good Time Show, or you can throw "Dang Shorty" in there if you
whatever
want to.
you want to do.
Okay, wait, hold on. Yeah, let me. What was I supposed to say again though? What was the last part?
You're tuned into the Good Time Show. It's like the tagline, but however you want to introduce yourself.
You're tuned into the Good Time Show.
That's the one.
Dang, Shardy, it's your girl. Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Dang, Shardy, it's your girl Rachael Elizabeth, and you're tuning into the Good Time Show.